Oh boy. All right. Part 3 of the Japan trip recap. I didn't think there was going to be a part 2, and here we are on part 3. Uh, in case you did not see the other two, the first one was all about Tokyo and Hakone, uh, traveling around basically the tourist loop, Shinjuku, down through Shibuya, Asakusa, over here, and Meiji Jingu. All of the kind of like little bits and bobs that you expect from the tourist loop inside of Tokyo. We then went down to Hakone and spent a day there where it snowed, looked beautiful, but was cold. Uh, Afterwards, we took a bullet train down to Osaka, and we used this as our base of operations, kind of going up to Kyoto, over to Nara, and all throughout the city itself. Very, very fun. A lot of good nightlife in Osaka, as well as the castle. Nara, always freaking gorgeous, and Kyoto, much the same. But that brings us to me and the group I was with parting ways as they went home, and I was still there for a few more days. So this is looking out over a river as I make my way to get on a train. And we are going from Osaka all the way over here to Fukuyama on the Shinkansen. At Fukuyama, I'm going to be getting onto a local train and heading down to Onomichi, which is a small coastal city in Hiroshima. You might think, Hiroshima, that's that city. What with the bad history? It's also this whole area right here. So this is Hiroshima Ken right here. So all of this is Hiroshima. This is Hiroshima-shi, the actual city. And Onomichi, right here, is a small little town. Apparently, there's a Shin Onomichi, but I don't know why. Oh, does it not connect? Oh, okay. I was like, why didn't my instructions take me to Onomichi and then down to Inomichi? But that's because there's no line there. Okay. So I went into Fukuyama, hopped on a local to Onomichi, and that's what we're gonna cover the first little bit of right here. I did get a chance to actually see the driver. He opened and closed the doors and kept track of it. I think that's what this key's doing. I wasn't paying close attention, but he did turn that, and the doors opened, and then he removed it, and the doors were closing. It could have just been timing, but and he then walked over here, stared at some instruments for a bit while the train went down the track, and then walked back over. So that was kind of fun, just to watch all of that happen. We are waiting for the Shinkansen. The Nozomi is one of the ones that goes 300 kilometers per hour. It's a fast boy. It's a fast boy. So that was very fun. So here you see Shinosaka, Fukuyama. Hopping on that right here. Yeah. Yeah. Gosh dang, do I ever so much love infrastructure. Ah, love it. For whatever reason, Onomichi Station had a bunch of naked lady statues. There weren't like long plaques of explanation. There was just like a name. I could have Googled it. I didn't, so it's my fault for not knowing. But here's one of the statues. Uh, the reason I'm skipping a lot of these is because I'm going to be going through and actually reading them and doing a little bit of translating on the actual Japanese study videos. So it's not that I'm ignoring them. Yeah, well, I am. But because we are going to be doing a little look through of them later. I don't know why, but this like Fukuyama did not look like a big area to me, but they had one of those 3D billboards set up here. So I took a picture of that. Uh, this is us going to Onomichi from Fukuyama right here. I'll turn that down a little bit because it is a bit loud. I said it in one of the other videos. This is one of my favorite things, is just sitting on a window seat and watching the countryside go by. I'd probably love this in America too. Unfortunately, Amtrak's incredibly expensive, so there's no chance of me taking a freaking train anywhere while owning a car in America. It's almost like it's by design. Uh, the train will often be way more expensive than a plane and car, and also be slower. So it's like, why would I ever do that? Whereas in Japan, it's like, oh, to get from that station to that station, like 9 stops down, is $2. Okay, sure, I'll go. Now, obviously, the Shinkansens are much more expensive, but they also get you there very fast. So, uh, this is another one of those like 12-minute long videos. I think I will put this up as a separate thing at some point. We'll see. I might edit things. I'm not big on editing. If you haven't noticed. So we'll skip to the end on that and get to Onomichi Station. So we hop down here. Onomichi Station right here. So Onomichi. This is the little bit right here. I ended up walking from there over to this little spot right here, because this building that had its name pop up and then disappear, there we go, they are also a spot where you can put your luggage and they will hold on to it for you. If you have a bunch of really big luggage bins, instead of carting them with you everywhere in between hostels or hotels, put them in one of these, go do your exploring, and then come back. It will be so much nicer for you. So much nicer for you. This cost me like $5, and then the lady's like, "Oh, I didn't even hold on to that for like 4 hours. Oh, here, have half of your money back." And so it ended up costing me like $2, which was very nice of them. But I'll pop you down here so you can kind of see. This is it right here. Obviously closed at the time of this photo. But shopping arcades are one of my most favorite things about Japan. Having, the outside in kind of deal. It's really great. Oh, it's rainy and snowy. I guess we can't go, but we can because of how many shopping arcades there are. And this is no different. So, here is what that looks like, a little bit more open and awake. So you can see baggage storage service. It literally says luggage right there up top. Onomichi is a beautiful port. Obviously, there's a ton of industry going on here, mixed in with nature, and I think that sums up a lot of Japan. To be fair, there's a lot of we're working. It's industry, but then there's a temple, or it's like the juxtaposition, like in Shinjuku, of the nightlife brothel party area, and then like half a block away is literally just the government right there. It's like it's kind of crazy how close those are. This is the start of the famous bike path right here. So you might be coming to Onomichi if you are going to go on the, what is it, Shin Minami Kaido, I believe is the name. New South Road, right? Shin Minami Kaido, right? Yeah, Shin Minami Kaido. 60-kilometer that connects, yes, Onomichi Travel right there. It is gorgeous. I did not rent a bike to go down it. I did wander around a little bit, but so here are some more photos of the area. There's actually a ferry right here. that you can see that goes in between these two ports, or that island and where I'm at right here. And there it is running. So you can go back and forth and put your car on the ferry and take your car across instead of driving down to the bridge. I'm sure there's a reason. Maybe it's cheaper somehow, or maybe they just happened to be close enough that it made sense, but whatever. Uh, hey, it was that time of year. So we got to see a lot of blossoming plum blossoms when we first were arriving. And as I went south, a lot of cherry blossoms. So this is right on the Onomichi coast there. A little statue. Once again, just a lot of naked lady statues in Onomichi. Not sure what happened there. Now this is on a cable car that is going up to, is it Sengoki Temple on Sengoki Yama. I bought a round ticket for this. I was going to take this back down, but then I ended up just walking it. And she's giving like a little history of the area. But freaking gorgeous little city on the coast here. That snaking bit of ocean, almost like a river, you know? Freaking gorgeous. So here we are actually up top of it. And kind of reminds me of like the Blue Ridge Mountains down in Appalachia, because you can kind of see, you know, like the stack on stack on stack of like ha ha ha. So they're not like super tall, but you can kind of see over a bunch of them, and it gets bluer and bluer and bluer as you go because of how light works. So another shot of that right there. My big dumb face. This is a little up on top of it. There's just a staircase that goes up to a bridge to another staircase so that you can get a little bit higher and take a slightly better photo. That's the whole point of it. So kind of a look around the area there. Like I said, freaking the photos are not doing it justice. It was gorgeous. One, it was the first day that was warm of the trip, and it turns out as soon as everybody left, it warmed up. So sorry, I guess we should have delayed it by like a week. But yeah, you know, see mountains all throughout this island chain. You can see the ocean over there and over there connecting through all of this. I freaking love it. I freaking love it. Apparently I'm bad at photoing, but and God, those nose hairs. Jesus Christ. Uh freaking gorgeous. Absolutely loved the area. I started wandering down and there was just this little shrine in the side of the mountain that I wasn't expecting. And then we got down to the actual Sengoki area down here. So if we pop out here, shoot, shoot, shoot. So Senkoji, not Sengoki, Senkoji. Okay, I misremembered that. This is where it takes you up to right here. And then you can kind of wander your way down through all of this. Now, the main reason I stopped at Onomichi and Fukuoka and Shinjuku and Osaka and so on and so forth is because they all happen to be locations for the Ryuga Gotoku series, the Like a Dragon Yakuza series. Yakuza 6 takes place in Onomichi. And there's a very famous scene inside of that game, which we are going to watch in this video. And it will set up a reason that I'm doing a dumb pose, okay? This is looking down at kind of the almost like terraced nature of this temple. I really like it. Here we got, instead of the bell, we got the clinker balls. And this guy was trying to clink a certain number of times. Another shot looking like that's just a good phone background right there. Gosh dang. Yeah, you should be smiling. And plucked nose hairs and eyebrows. Gosh dang. This guy used to teach Kiryu Kazuma sick moves, but unfortunately he is no longer with us. So this pose right here, and this one right here. Okay. Yakuza 6 baby throw. So this is Haruto. Is a baby. Yup. 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 Ah! So that takes place here. So I had to reenact catching a baby. So if anyone is a good photoshopper and would like to put that baby like here coming down, would very much appreciate it. This place does not sell beans, unfortunately. They just sell knickknacks and paddywhacks and whatnot. But they do have a good name, Beans. Uh, I love the like terraced nature of the houses. You know, it's like you got your ones down here, and then step up, step up, step up, step up, all the way up the hill. You know, here's how to put a child in a seat. Also, you know, watch your kid. Uh, this okay. She is wearing too much makeup. I don't know what's going on here. This has gone beyond the realm of makeup. It's like I like there's so much contouring going on with makeup and Photoshop that this no longer looks human to me. And they haunted me. You'll see later. Here is a church right next to the Onomichi station. Like, yeah, sure, sure. And this is the Shinkansen coming in right here. This is the one that I would go and get onto to ride down to Fukuoka. So, Fukuoka, we zoom out from Onomichi right here, is all the way down here. So, from right up here, got on a Shinkansen all the way down to that. So we have the main island of Honshu right here, and this is technically the first part of the trip that took place in Kyushu. I've been to Kagoshima down here before, so it's not my first time going down here, but you know it was pretty cool. So Fukuoka is where Yakuza 4 takes place. The main reason I came down to this island, right here in the middle of it, was this little island right here is Yakuza 4. That's where Yakuza 4 takes place, is this little island right here. I was actually staying in this hotel right here, right next to the bridge that is heavily featured inside of that game. And if we pop out right here, boop, Nakusu selection. We can pop over here and say Excel Hotel Tokyo. Actually, if I can hop onto this, let's see. This was my room right here. So that was that's where I was sitting and got the view of Fukuoka right here. I will say this area had a ton of street performers, and it made going out at night super, super, super fun. I really, really enjoyed that. All right, more. So this is us heading in. This is arriving uh, at the station, and there was just fish in a vending machine. And I was like, Japan, I put a lot of faith in your vending machines. I'm not. I'm not getting fish out of them. So yeah, Hakata is the station. This is the first look. There was actually a flower festival going on over here during all of this. So this was all lit up and quite beautiful during it. I do take a couple of photos in that area, but most of the time I was here during the night when it was all closed. So more statues. This picture, it actually kind of annoys me because it was dark out and my phone apparently did some after image processing to try to make it look more lighter, but it was like neon cool looking, and then I take the picture and I don't realize that it did all of this. This was actually fairly dark out when I took it, but oh well. I just thought this mask looked stupid, you know. So this was a bar called Cotton Fields. Yep. Beer and foods. Not only did they add most of Mexico into here, they took out Michigan. We're not there anymore. And Florida has been circumcised. So I did not go in here, but I thought it was pretty funny. So just turn your head to the side real quick. Because apparently I didn't actually flip my camera. This guy was very, very fun. He's like, hey, give me a song, any song. I was like, oh, okay. Lemonade by Chili Beans. He's like, do you know any Japanese rock? It's like, Lemonade by Chili Beans. And he ended up playing the song, kind of like picking it up as it was going, and then just played it. And did a pretty dang good job. So he's actually using a loop machine, if you can see. I really, really enjoyed this guy quite a bit. And he actually records it. So somewhere out there is a YouTube channel of him doing this. So that was very, 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 very fun. Lots of crows and pigeons in the morning. So what I ended up doing was I kind of picked a thing that I wanted to go to. And the thing that I picked was the Gundam place. So there's a life-size Gundam statue down here. I've been to one before. There was one in Yokohama. I think that one got moved. And there was one in Odaiba, which I think is still there. But I picked this and I said, you know what? We're just going to walk from here to there and see what we see along the way, which is how I do a lot of my trips. And I saw this parade float that is freaking tall as heck. And I'm sure there's some sort of story to this. Or maybe they just were like, let's make some cool stuff. And they succeeded on the second part for sure. This was just a small shrine that was very close to where I was at. It started raining, so I had to duck into a shopping arcade. I saw this Anpan Man vending machine to get kids used to using a vending machine, because you can see it's all like Anpan Man stuff for the most part. And like there are some like normal things up inside of here, but for the like it's mostly just Anpan Man foods and whatnot. So yeah. um, so this is saying, hey, where you want to go? And has a picture of a pretty lady. Because like most of the Yakuza games, this area is a red light district. Unlike Shinjuku and Osaka, which have been very, very tourist, there's not as many tourists here. So this one was a bit more blatant about the fact that it is still like a brothel area. What the heck is that? That's kind of neat. Let's see if we go down a little bit and start taking some side streets. Like over here. Now most of these drives through seem to take place very early in the morning because you can tell everything's closed. Let's see. I think we're getting into it now. Yes, okay. So this area right here, these are soaplands. If you are unfamiliar with what a soapland is, it's essentially a brothel with extra steps. A woman gets naked and rubs herself against you. And then there's sex. Hey, it's a brothel, and you do the brothel thing. So that's what all of these are. And these guys out front, as I was taking my morning walk, were just like, hey, you want pussy? And I was like, no, I'm good. I haven't even had breakfast yet. And they're like, what about pussy for breakfast? I'm good. Thank you, though. So that was what this area right here was, and I kept turning down roads to get away from it, and I just became more dense with it. So like all of this is also soaplands and brothels. So here you can see 50 minutes, 150 yen, or 150 ish USD. 60 minutes, 70 minutes, and whatnot. So, hey, if you are more the type to go do that type of thing, it's here for you. One guy was like, "Yeah, we have girl speaks English. She'll moan in English." It's like, what is that? What does that mean? But I don't want to know. You know what? We're gonna go. And you can see that there is also Korean and Chinese on here. So I'm assuming they have Korean and Chinese clientele as well. The I didn't see this one. I wish I would have seen this one. I would have stopped for a photo right there. But this is essentially a guide for, hey, here's where you can go to get the laid. Let me see if I can find one of them. Anytime you see, nope, I wanted to go down there actually. Anytime you see, looking for a very specific type of sign here. Anytime you see this, it is a free information booth to guide you to the best spots. You see this, you know you are in a brothel area because that's the only time you will see these. At least I have never seen them outside of those areas. Anyways, enough brothel talk. This was another one of the floats that I found on my way walking around. So that was kind of cool. I did see photos of some ones from past years. There was one with a ton of Gundams on it. Like, that seems very traditional. I love that. This guy's just very bright. You know, he's just a smart cookie. This guy right here. And there's the face again. Oh my god. And also, gosh dang, I need to pluck those freaking nose hairs. Holy crap. This is back at the shrine that I had to duck out of because it had started raining. Here is a little piss boy. A little piss boy is taking a little piss boy. These are, I was told, sponsor slabs. Like you help support the place and your name gets put on a slab there. Very, very pretty shrine with a lot of little statues all throughout, including one of a horse that they really wanted to make sure you knew that horse was capable of pooping. Why did they give it such a pronounced butthole? It's a statue. It doesn't need to poop, but it is able to. That horse is almost prolapsed. Why? Why did they do that? uh, this is the entrance on the other side. Continuing through Fukuoka, you'll see a lot of parks like this. Obviously, when the grass is not dead, it looks a little bit better inside of it. You can kind of get a feel for like, hey, this is just a big area for people to like relax in and chill. This is right next to Canal City, which is over here. It's like a big department store. I'm assuming. This is actually where a major deal was set in stone for trade and whatnot with folks outside of the country and folks inside of the city. And so that is what this is representing. If we pop out of there, that's actually right here. That's a little lantern marker for trademarks and blah, 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 blah. Which is not that far, as you can see, from where I was staying. I have not actually made it that far at this point. I continued on into the city, found another shrine that I ended up walking through. Past this point, there were no photos. So here's a photo from the outside. You can see they got little dolls-like statues of some shogunates. If I remember correctly, what they was talking about. Another beautiful park throughout here. I kind of like showing like just the side streets in Japan because everybody goes to Shinjuku and you see all the people, right? But the side streets, they got some good design, you know? Anyways, here's a Gundam. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Look at that dang thing. That's freaking huge. Every time I see one of these things, I'm like, why? It's so big. It's so big. Oh, mama. Oh, mama. This is actually inside the department store. They had a jump store. And they regularly will put the heights of like characters from the different shows that are currently running. And they had the Straw Hats here. And most of them are normal people, if a bit tall. I am 5'10", 5'11", depending on how late in the day it is. I'm old. My bones go like over the day. I literally will lose almost a full inch of height between when I wake up and night. But as you can see, I'm about the height of Nami and Usopp here. And then not too far off from Zoro and Sanji. And then turns out she's very tall. Like Robin is very tall. But then this guy's half mech, right? So like we can kind of get that. This was a normal human man. He was a normal human man. Why so tall? And then Junbei. He's a monster. Look at that. It was funny because one of the other ones was just like all human characters, so it only was down here. It's like, oh, okay. The area outside of it had a bunch of wildflowers, and so they had them all listed here so you could find the names of them. I'm gonna have fun reading this at some point and going through and being like, oh, that's what that flower is called. This is an accidental photo. I was actually trying to take this photo, and I somehow hit the take picture button right after the flip camera button. So somehow I took a candid picture of myself. And as you can see, my eyes are tired. It's almost like I was sleeping 2 to 3 hours a night and then just doing stuff. But I kind of like stuff like this too, because it's like you got the mountains, you got where people live, you got a little bit of nature, then you got infrastructure. It's like that's just freaking Japan, man. There were free pigeons. You can take as many as you can catch. And he looks very close in this photo, but I just want to point out this pigeon is currently like this far away from my knee, just watching me eat some onigiri. And it's like, no, buddy, you can't have any. Hato-san, get the heck away. I did see something very adorable. There was a little girl who had eaten a sandwich, and she was giving her crust to the pigeons. Obviously, pigeons are not supposed to eat bread. Well, listen, it's better than the cigarette butts that I would regularly see them feasting on as well. And she gave it to the pigeon, and she was like, "Ah, pan taberu hato-san, pan, pan, okay, bye bye hato-san." And then she like waved at the pigeon and walked away. I was like, you stop it. Stop being so gosh dang adorable. Some gyudon. Love me some gyudon. This meal was like $5, and it's a big bowl of rice with kimchi and pork on top. I got the kimchi and just put it in there. It has an onsen egg as well, and I got a big ol' bottle of beer, and it's $5. And it's God, food was just so cheap. Now, I want to do a little juxtaposition here. So this is back on that area in front of the river. This guy was on stilts and wearing a heat-resistant tarp, a silver mask, and handing out what I thought was pencils. I'm actually not sure now looking at the video, but they are just going like, that's it. That's their whole thing. And if someone takes the pencil, they point down at the donation bin. That's their whole shtick. We already saw the guy playing Surfing USA earlier, who was phenomenal, super talented guy. And you can hear this guy was singing a lot of English pop songs and nailing it. What was hilarious was I went up to talk to him afterwards, and I was like, "Mate, that was amazing." He's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm not very good with English." I was like, "You just sang Ed Sheeran like perfectly." And you're telling me you don't actually know the language. You're just phonetically singing all of these songs? That's actually more impressive. So I was like, oh, really? Wow, okay. Well, but listen, your songs are really good. I really enjoyed listening to them. It was amazing, in Japanese. And he's like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Nihongo josu. Yep, thank you. Eigo josu. But just the juxtaposition of this guy right next to. There was also like a dance group of like 3 girls doing like a belly dance routine. They were doing it in public, but I didn't feel comfortable recording that and putting it up on the internet. I'm sure they wouldn't mind, but I felt weird about it, so I didn't. If you are also not familiar, Fukuoka does this a lot. So along the river, you will get these little stands where people will go out and just get ramen by the river. And it's really fun. Get to listen and talk to people. I actually did eat at this one right here. I Same thing. Didn't want to just like take photos while at it, so I kind of walked away, non-invasive, just like candid photo. Uh, I'm not cut out for like the YouTuber live streamer. It's like I'm just carrying a camera through the streets, just shoving it in everybody's faces. I can't do that. That ain't me. But yeah, no, beautiful, beautiful area. There's I forget what the instrument is. It's not the shamisen. It's the stringed instrument that they lie on their lap and they like ting 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 this way. There was a lady playing that over here. I didn't get to record her because by the time I got over there, she was cleaning up. But this guy was also out here singing. I was gonna record him, but then he didn't sing. Like he was like basically wrapping up. Uh, and you hear the guitar. That's actually Mr. Chuck Berry in the background. Uh, but very, very, very fun little area. Really, really enjoyed it. This is where the flower show was going on. They lit this all up nice and pretty. Inside of all of these, there were lots of flowers. I never made it out there during the day though. Uh, God. Here, hey, yep, they want my breakfast. They really want my breakfast. They can't have it, but they want it. And there you can see that building way down that way. Uh, so somewhere nearby is that lantern. So it's not that far from where I was at. This is that room right there. And then I was like, well, where do I go next? Well, let's go up to Yokohama. And so that's what I did. Hopped onto a bullet train up to Yokohama. Stayed at a place called the Knot. So if you're unfamiliar with where Yokohama is, I hopped on a Shinkansen in Fukuoka and went whoop whoop to Yokohama right here. It was a 4.5 hour train ride with 4 stops. So it was very relaxed, just kind of go on the ride there. They stopped somewhere up here. I don't see it. Oh, Kokura. They stopped in Kokura. I was like, oh, okay, sure. I wonder if that's just like a spot to let people up into this area, because there's not a big city to stop here. They stopped in Osaka, they stopped in Yokohama, and then it continued on up to Shinjuku. So Yokohama here, very, 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 very pretty area right here. This is actually Chinatown. And it has this beautiful park right here, the Yamashita Park. I was actually staying at a place somewhere around here called the Knot. It was fine. It wasn't like an amazing hotel. It wasn't a bad hotel. So and with access to this station right here, which you can get from Yokohama Station to Haneda Airport in 30 minutes. You can get from Yokohama Station back up to Shinjuku in under an hour. And it gives you access all throughout down here. This is not a bad neck of the woods to be in if you're going to be exploring this part of the greater Tokyo metropolitan area. Really, really liked it. So, this is the view out the window. At night, I didn't get it on film, but there were kids tearing this little section up on skateboards. I was like, hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. And then they were like, you're weird. And left. And I felt bad. But this is Yokohama Stadium. So if we whoop on in here, you can see Yokohama Stadium. It has this park around it, which is actually freaking gorgeous. So we had blossoms going off. Main reason I took this photo is to subtly take a picture of this lady taking a picture because she was like trying to get the angles. She was like laying on the ground, doing this, rolling around, and I was like, you are going for it. Good on you. I actually liked these little wildflowers. The whole park, they were currently planting a bunch of flowers. And there was this guy. I just liked his hat. Uh, Now, this building right here, uh, it looks like a very nondescript building, and it is. But I'll have you know that behind it, there's a golden chest that you can get some weapons or upgrades in for Ichiban. So make sure you do that when you're playing Ryuga Gotoku 7. So Like a Dragon 7. This is the area that that game takes place in, Ichincho. Specifically, this little bay right here. There's the red brick building warehouse. I actually really liked this little wharf area right here. Very pretty with all the boats on it. Very, very, very fun. There's this little like walk over where you can walk over the entire park. It's like that seems weird, but I guess if this is like busy with people during the summer, that might make sense for folks that are like, I'm not stopping at any of this, so I'm just gonna go. But little map of the area. Uh, this little thing right here exists in the game. There's a little restaurant there. I got a kick out of that. The fact that they do such a good job of representing the areas. Here's a little statue in front of it. Uh, this is the area where if you play the games, you get a senbei selling business, and eventually you graduate to this building right here. In the game, it's like a 30-story building, a little bit taller, but here it is there, and it looks exactly the same. This park, Yamashita Park, is also in the game. However, the Dragon Kart racing wasn't there. So I was a bit disappointed that I couldn't do Dragon Kart racing. And no, I'm not talking about driving the carts through the streets of Tokyo. You're just annoying everyone when you do that. I'm glad you're having fun. It is unfortunate that your fun is annoying and affecting people that live and work there, though. That's the main thing. When you go to Japan, you don't need to speak Japanese. You can get by just fine without it. As long as you are trying to be polite and out of the way, because you got to remember that, hey, Shinjuku's where the government is. There's a lot of people just trying to get to work. Imagine if you're trying to go to work and there's just a dude with a camera going, just be mindful of your surroundings, be polite, make an effort, and honestly, you'll have a great time and you will not piss people off. That's all the long and short of it. But if you are not being polite, if you're getting in people's way, yeah, the locals get pissed off. They don't like that. Don't do that. Uh, Folks like that are the reason that there are whole regions of Kyoto that tourists are not allowed in anymore because they couldn't mind their own freaking business. Uh, all right, here we go. Here we go. I like this little statue. Guardian of the Water came from San Diego. Like, huh, that's kind of neat. Here's our big boy, Maru Yokohama. This is always moored here. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous park. Like, oh my god, gorgeous. And like half the stuff wasn't in bloom yet because it was just coming off of winter, and it was still a very beautiful park. So you can see a little lookout tower. We have our blossoms, and this statue down here is actually a statue dedicated to the Girl Scouts of Japan meeting the Girl Scouts of America. No, I don't know if they also sell the cookies. Maybe they do. Huh. Yep, statue, my big dumb face. I took this photo because it's like disruptive behavior is prohibited. No playing ball. And that's exactly what these people are currently doing. Granted, it's a big empty park. It's fine. Uh, Actually, if you look here, see these steps. This is the view from up there. It is gorgeous and crazy how much this park just like lines up there. It was so cool, and you can actually see Landmark Tower in the background here, which I'm going to go up in a little bit. I could not find any of the normal enemies from Like a Dragon walking around the area, but I did find a crane, and at some point, a monkey is going to get in that crane and pilot it, and then we're going to have to fight the crane. That's just how it works. That's just a big schnoss. There was a uh, museum right here that didn't want me taking photos inside. So I took a photo outside. It was a doll museum. It was kind of cool. A lot of little history stuff there. Here's a little lookout tower. Uh, this is the entrance to Chinatown right here. So walked through the Chinatown area. I wish I would have come back later. I am kind of kicking myself for going so early because nothing was open. But still, like, very gorgeous. A lot of cool stuff to see and do. Uh, my super garlic dish has giant chunks of garlic, and you can't see it up here, but there were these little garlic bins that you could put a little garlic paste on there. So I put garlic on my garlic to garlic my garlic, so I could get more garlic per garlic. And honestly, that's just living your best life. This is actually a bowl, by the way. It kind of looks like a plate, but there is a bunch of rice down below it. Uh, like I said in one of the first videos, if you are not good with Japanese, places like Sukiya here are really helpful for folks that might be a little apprehensive about trying to order at a normal restaurant. Because they have a screen, you can set it to English if you want, and you can just order on there and you'll know what you're getting. It's just a ticket system, it's very straightforward. I highly recommend it, especially if you just want something cheap and filling in the morning, which is what I did. Back by Yokohama Stadium right here. Gorgeous. The lot of signs for the team. The Bay Stars there. And this is maybe the most cursed thing ever. I don't like. I don't like that. I don't like. Nope, not a. Something about that's just too gosh dang creepy. All right, back to Shinjuku. I went. Can you spot the Korean reference in this photo? Give you a second here. Somewhere in this photo, there's something rather Korean. Oh, she's looking at me. I'm dead. Yeah, I didn't notice that until after taking the photo, by the way. I was mostly just trying to get a photo of the big egg building. I came back up this way to get the rest of the Yakuza vending machines and take a picture with them. Here is our Majima one, and here's the Kiryu one. This was actually by the batting cages, and this was in front of the Don Quixote. So I really liked that. I then decided to walk to the Metropolitan Building. This was out front of it. It was an event called Let's Enjoy Sports. They were doing like some sort of meeting about sports. This guy was unimpressed and was taking a nap on the AstroTurf, which was very fake grass because you could sometimes hear the plastic underneath of it going like as you walked. It was very soft, but very weird. I actually came over here to go up to the top of this and get some photos from up there because it is free to go up to the observation deck. However, one of them was currently closed, and so instead of having two kind of long lines, they had one very long line, and it was an hour and a half wait to get up there. And I was like, nah, I'm okay. You know, I have seen that view. I don't need to go take those photos again. This is me screaming internally out loud. This is looking at the underground path. So I pointed it out in one of the other videos, but as I zoom in here, we're going to start seeing a bunch of red here. All of this is underground pathways that you can take from Shinjuku Station. And that is what this is. So there is whole swaths of underground stuff. If you start zooming in on these, you can see these underground paths all around the stations. So you can actually get to a decent amount of stuff underground in Japan as well. More Majima next to a boat, of course. They were celebrating the 45th anniversary of Doraemon at the Landmark Tower in Yokohama. Here we got our Pikachu. This is the view from up top there. You can see Yokohama Bay right here going out there. Down here was that little park. You could probably see this in the background of a lot of my photos. And way over there, that is Yamashita Park right there. So kind of give you an idea of where everything is on this. Very, very, very cool. I went up there and they had a little cafe and a bunch of books so you could like read and stuff. Very, very awesome. I'm bad with heights. Looking straight down actually did make me a little ooh on this one. So that is the boat that I was posing Majima in front of earlier. Now, I gotta say something here. Over off screen here, there's an ad for a spicy veggie dog. Which I walked up and I said, spicy veggie dog, please. And she said, yep, okay, spicy chili dog coming right up. I did not catch that. It was not a veggie dog. It was a spicy veggie on a hot dog. The spicy veggie being jalapenos. It is just a chili dog with a cut up jalapeno on top of it. However, the black IPA up here, actually really, really good. I'm not an IPA guy, so I chose the blackest, darkest thing there. It does not get close to a stout or a porter, but it definitely had more enjoyable flavors than a typical IPA for me. And this was just up there, so I got to sip on that beer while looking out over this. Very, very, very gorgeous views. I believe Shinjuku's like out here through the cloud of cloud and smog because it is a giant city. Yeah, they had a little photo op spot to take pictures with Doraemon characters all throughout it. So here's me with my boy. This looked like a meal and a half. I was like, that is some seafood platter right there. That's the whole ocean in a bowl. Another Doraemon. There's the Bay Stars. We love Yokohama Landmark Tower. He honestly does not seem impressed. Him either. To be quite frank. There's the tower again. Walk through. This area has a lot of American restaurants, and it's called American House. Look at that, that freaking burger. Nothing like that was sold inside of there, by the way. I took this as a photo for a friend. He's very big into Deadpool. This was actually inside of a porn shop. So I took a step into a porn shop where you could rent and watch porn to take this photo exactly as three businessmen came in as a group to watch porn. Yep. So that was a fun, awkward moment of me taking pictures and them walking into the porn store with me. There was exactly one alcohol vending machine that I found. I see a bunch of these, Only one this time. So maybe these are going away. Uh, who knows? Tons of cigarette ones. Only one beer one though. Kind of the nightlife area. I ended up going to this place called the Tavern, which fancied itself a British pub. Uh, Having not been to a British pub, I can't tell you how well they did with emulating it. There was exactly 3 people inside of there, not including staff, and so I got into a conversation with all of them. Optional mushy peas. Some folks are adamant that you must have disgusting mushy peas with your fish and chips. Other folks are sane and they don't need that. Uh, Oops, wrong direction. They also had a Punk IPA, which if it wasn't for the fact that it was $15, I would have ordered. Instead, I just did stuff off of the happy hour menu. Still, this was the most expensive meal I got, and it was fries with cheese and beans on it because it was fritos con carne. And I was like, well, that's is that a thing in British pubs? British folks, let me know. I don't know, but that was there. But it was still an enjoyable night because I did get to talk to the waiter and ask him about his travels. Uh, same thing where he's like, "Oh, I'm not very good with English." And it's like, okay, well, we can talk in like basic Japanese. And then it turned out he was actually insanely good at English and it was just being shy. That happens a lot as well. They it's crazy how good the service is in Japan. One of the main reasons that they like some places don't want foreigners coming in is because they feel that they are not equipped to do a good job servicing the foreigners because they don't know the language, and so they're scared of that. Obviously, sometimes it's just good old fashioned racism, but a lot of the times it is stuff like that where it's like, I don't know English. I can't help them. I don't want them coming in here and having a bad experience because of my inadequacies. Uh, and he was like that, the waiter. And then I was like, no, mate, your English is amazing. You're doing a great job. And we're having a full conversation, albeit half in one language, half in another. And so that was very, 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 very fun. Uh, these are at Shinjuku Station. This is the Suica Penguin right here. More vending machines. I love these little nooks all throughout. One of my least favorite things about walking around in the States is there's nowhere to frickin' sit in a lot of public spaces. You got to go into a building to sit down. There's tons of these like little nooks of seating all throughout department stores and whatnot in Japan. Here's a look down into some of the tracks of Shinjuku Station, not even anywhere near all of it, but some of them. Obviously, this is actually Times Square. We're in New York, as you can tell. Guy servicing that. I like to do like just static videos of just watching the world go by because this is one of my favorite things to do in Japan. Is just to kind of sit with a drink and like look off in a direction and just let the world wash over me. It's one of my favorite ding things. Uh, from the station, I could see the Don Quixote over there, and I found someone that understood me because we are both named Luke. What, you thought I was going to make an egg slut joke? Get out of here! It's too late in the video for that. This is in Haneda Airport at the departures. They've built a fake bridge. Next to it, there was this really kind of fancy little ramen shop. I ended up getting kitsune udon. Here it is. They added a tomato. I was like, sure, okay, sure. I love kitsune udon, and that I'm I think this is always called kitsune. I don't know why, but because like kitsune is fox, but like this is fried tofu skins, and they make like the sushi with it. One of my favorite things. Absolutely love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. This is the looking out from there. I saw a Gundam on my way to my gate, and this is the final picture in Japan as I wait to board the plane. Oh, well, hopefully you had even 10% of the fun watching these videos of me going over the trip as I did going on the trip. All together, what a freaking trip. A day, honestly, like 3 days in Tokyo since I came back and walked around a little bit more later on. A day in Hakone, a day and a half in Hakone, 3.5 days in Osaka, a day in Onomichi, 2 days in Fukuoka, and then a day back up in Yokohama. Like, it was one heck of a trip. If you have never been to Japan and you're like, I don't know, do it. You can totally do it. Just be polite, make an effort, and try things. You will have a wonderful, wonderful time. Anyways, hey, we're going to get back to doing Japanese study videos on this here dang channel. So I will see you for more of that. I'm not going to lie, most of my practice was verbal. It's what I actually enjoy doing. Reading is the hard part for me. Talking to people and being like, this, and then they're like, oh, like this, like yes, that, and like that's the fun for me. Reading is not the fun for me, but I got to get more words, and that's what we're gonna do. Thank you so much for watching all of these videos. Hopefully you enjoyed them. They were so long. I wasn't expecting them to be that long. Anyways, thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Daily Japanese study video. Because the Ankanin is going to happen. I have over 400 words waiting for me to come back to them. Oh boy. See you then.